Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our entitled people. In today's episode, Nail Salon Karen. Entitled Karen yells at minimum wage workers. I was shouted by a Karen who came late. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Nail Salon Karen. So this story happened only a few hours ago. This was my first experience with a RL Karen. So my family and I go once a month to this local nail salon to treat ourselves to pedicures. We have known the owners since I was in elementary school, so they are really good family friends. We were there, set up our chairs about 1/3 way into our appointment when I hear it, "Can I just to someone about this?" Being the nosy I am, I of course listen, and didn't hurt that Malibu Karen was in the chair right next to me. She then starts this long, red scripted tirade about how the water for her hand was burning her skin off and the water for her feet was basically ice cold. She kept saying how she didn't understand why it was like that, and how when she paid for a $50 service she expected better. She just didn't understand. I could tell she was clawing for a comped visit or something free. I think she ended up getting a free chair massage. After listening to so many YT channels that react to stories, I had comebacks ready to go, but I was worried she would throw a full-on tantrum and it would reflect badly on the place of business. Our friend said the lady comes in all the time and pulls shit like that. Malub Karen, just a heads up, I ever see you in public, I am not keeping my thoughts to myself. I'd suggest that the salon owners consider firing Malibu Karen. It's obvious that we are not able to offer the experience you are looking for. There will be no charge for today's appointment. However, after today, we will no longer be able to provide any services for you. Then they need to follow through. If she calls or comes in for an appointment, there are no available appointments. I agree with this, save that they should not be giving anything free. Just next time she comes in or tries to book, sorry, we can't help you. Entitled Karen yells at minimum wage workers. Some background: I work for a popular sandwich store, and usually with the same people. My manager and my coworker may be the owner, but not today. I also have a good work relationship with my manager. Names are changed for privacy. So the day started normal, prepping food, making sandwiches, etc., and we get a call from Karen asking to move a large order for a Christmas party or whatever 4 days back onto our day, and we said sure, but that they would have to change the delivery date because we aren't allowed to. So we are having a great day, order gets made, and I take my break just before lunch rush. I come back and continue making sandwiches until I hear my manager screaming at some lady, Karen, on the phone, and then my manager hangs up. I ask if everything is okay and she takes a deep sigh. A while later the Karen comes in screaming at my coworker, myself, then my manager because it wasn't delivered, and my manager, both now shouting, explains that we can't change delivery the women. She makes some offhanded threats to my manager, I'll post a bad review and whatnot. So I have to make sandwiches and calm my manager down, which I did like a pro. I look at the receipt to see the last name, which coincidentally is the last name of one of my not very close friends. We play D&D together, but that's it. So I contact her asking about it, and funnily enough it is. I now have her phone number, address, socials, and could get so much more if I wanted. I ain't gonna do anything with that information, but funny I have it. It's a small world, lol. Maybe you should tell her that you have that information, so she can post a bad review, and whatever happens to her after that is out of your hands. She has posted her review, and I am considering going to her house for D&D in my work uniform. Employee of the week goes to you, homie. I am the manager in question. Thanks, you are our October 10th manager, couldn't ask for better. Karens hate it if you know who they are. Their anonymity makes them feel like they can get away with anything. Pop that delusion and they unravel. I was shouted by a Karen who came late. I accompanied my mom to go to her clinic appointment today at 5:30 a.m. We were the second and the third person who arrived there, as there was a Chinese auntie who came earlier than us. We sat behind her by using my folding chairs. More people were coming around 6:30 a.m. onwards. By 7:10 a.m., the nurse came out and put the appointment boxes. This one old woman and her middle-aged daughter who had just arrived just ran to the front and put in their files. I saw that but thought that rather than making a fuss early in the morning, I can just put my mom's file as the first one later. I asked the Chinese woman in front if she wanted to put in her file, but she said it's okay, as she came for the lab, not for an appointment. So, I went in front, took out those women's files, because they cut the long queue, and put my mom's file as the first file inside. When I sat back on my chair, I heard someone was screaming. I couldn't be bothered as I didn't even understand what was the woman blabbering about. I can only heard few words, cut my line. Then I realized some people went on to criticize her back by saying, "You came late. You cut the line. Now you're claiming that the person who came the earliest is cutting your line? This old woman doesn't have a common sense. That young lady came way earlier than you." But that old woman was still with her entitlement and kept on talking about the system. Someone said, "If you know the system, then you won't cut the line." I think she was embarrassed, but she just kept on saying nonsense stuffs. Her daughter told her to shut up but sarcastically said, "Mom, shh. Leave them. They don't understand the system." Honestly, at first, I didn't know that old woman was yelling at me. I'm glad that some people defended me when my mind was not in that moment. I was busy thinking about my Ken dolls. What a Karen. A Karen with a pair of bulging eyes. I think she does this a lot, and that's her system. She comes in late but puts her file in first and maybe hopes no one will say anything. I'm glad you still put your file in first, and the other people stood up for you. Good for them. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.